Hi everyone, let's take a look at question 13 in sample exam 3. This is a question that involves various concepts in thermochemistry. The question gives you a reaction. H2 plus half O2 goes to H2O with delta H standard given as negative 286 kilojoules, and it's asking which of the following statements is true. So let's analyze each of the statements. The first statement is the reaction is exothermic, and we remember that exothermic means to release energy and endothermic means to absorb energy. Here we see that our delta H is negative. Negative means that it is releasing energy, because in order to get a negative enthalpy or energy, if this were your enthalpy or energy diagram, then your product has to be lower in energy than your reactant in order for energy to be released. And so negative here indicates the release of energy. So then the first one is correct, and therefore the second one is wrong. Okay. And then we take a look at statement 3. It says the change in enthalpy that's listed here can also be called the change in enthalpy of formation for H2O liquid. Now remember that that term formation is specific. That's a reaction where you form 1 mole of a product from its elements in the standard state. So if you look here, you have 1 mole of water being formed, and then the reactants are hydrogen and oxygen gases, which are the elements of water, and they're both in their standard states, right? The states that are most stable. So in fact, that is also enthalpy of formation. So this delta H here can also be called enthalpy of formation. So that's also correct. Number 4 said heat is absorbed by the system, and that's wrong because heat is actually released. And the last one says the products are more energetically stable compared to the reactant. Well, if you look back at the energy diagram that I drew earlier, as you can see, in order for me to get an exothermic reaction or a reaction that releases energy, the product has to be lower in energy compared to the reactant, and that's what we refer to as a more stable energy state. So the product in this case is indeed more stable compared to the reactant. So that's also correct. So then the answer is 1, 3, and 5, which is A.